What's up, everybody? Ryan here. Got a service call for you in Alliance, Ohio. I just went in and checked in with the manager. The thermostat is set to 72 and the indoor temperature is 61. So I'm gonna throw my ladder up. We're gonna hop up on the roof and see what we got going on. I believe this is a Carrier rooftop unit. So let's go see what we got going on. Got the new Vito Pro Pack Tech Pack. This thing's been awesome. Used it for a couple of weeks there. Then I was off, caught the Wu flu there right before New Year's, and finally over it, and I'm back to work. One unit here for this whole store. Could hear the blower running inside. So we've got power. Got a combustion blower blowing nice and cold. Sounds to me like the blower is moving air. I could hear it inside. So let's open this thing up and see what we got going on. All right, I'm not gonna shut the power off to the unit just yet. I wanna see what air code it's given and all that stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this panel off and we'll see what we got going on. All right, everybody, I got it off. Let's see here. 1, 2. 1, 2, and 2 flashes. Limit switch fault. All right, well, let's get the meter. I just tested the rollout switch and it has power and it is closed. So I'm gonna open up the blower section here. We'll see, maybe we had a wire come off, or maybe the limit's open for some reason. So let me put the camera down and we'll open it up. Well, look at that. How in the hell did that happen? There it goes. That belt, look at this. I'm gonna shut this down. We're gonna check the belt. Just from looking at it right here, it looks pretty sloppy. I'm wondering if it... Oh yeah, this belt's shot. I wonder if it was just bouncing and caught these wires, pulled that. Oh yeah, it definitely has been rubbing. Look at that. We actually have bare wire there, so pretty strange. What do we got here? A50. So before I do anything, I'm going to pull this side panel. We're going to check the heat exchanger. But I went ahead and I pushed the wire back on briefly and it did fire up. Oh, look at that. Just snapped right off. That's all right. I might have one of those. I keep a lot of the extra Carrier rollout switches and stuff and limit switches. So yeah, it definitely pulled that whole thing. But let's go ahead and inspect this heat exchanger, make sure we got no bigger problems, and then we'll go find a new belt and a limit. All right, everybody, I opened it up. It looks brand new. I wonder if this thing hasn't been replaced recently. But where I'm looking is, I'm looking in all these divots, looking here around the bends, and then where I find a lot of them are right up here next to right on the front plate. And everything here looks good, so I'm gonna go ahead and button that up. I'm gonna pull this and see if we got some numbers on it. I'm gonna go look in my van. I'm pretty sure I have one. And then we need an A50 belt. Warm my hands up. Let me go ahead and button this back up and we'll head down to the van. Got it. All right, guys, I just did a Carrier heat exchanger today and it's in warranty, so get this out. That way I can hop in here. All right. I keep all my heating parts. I just got that new rack over there. It's like a pack out kit, but all those different containers slide in. So I'm gonna be putting all my high limits and whatnot in one of those containers, but I haven't gotten that far yet. So let me do some digging around in here and we'll see if we can find that limit switch. All right, guys, I got one from a different manufacturer, but it's only a few degrees higher than the one that was in there. The one that was in there calls for 135. This is a 155. We're going to replace it with the OEM limit when we come back, because that blower motor is going to need replaced. And we're going to write up the blower motor limit and new belt. So I need an A50. Let me see if I can find one. A49. We might be going with that. Anyway, let me dig around in these belts and see if I can find what I'm looking for. All right, I got an A49, I got an A51. So one of them's gonna work for now. Show you what I'm talking about here. Yeah, that's no good. That's not too good. In fact, yeah. So we'll be writing up a new motor and pulley and belt. Doesn't sound too bad. Nothing's loose, so I think we're just going to be doing the motor, limit, pulley. So let me go ahead and get all this stuff put in and button back up, and we'll watch this unit fire up. All right, everybody, I got the new belt in. I've got the limit replaced temporarily until we get the OEM. We're gonna get a new blower motor and pulley and belt, and we're all snugged up. Everything looks good, and she's fired up. We go ahead and get on this, and we're running 4.9, so we're well under the amp draw. I'm rating that blower up just because of the sound of the bearings. I'm sure they'll be fine till we get back. We'll let that warm up here for a bit. Filters look relatively clean. I think we'll be in good shape there. Putting out 95-degree air. Of course, it's 60 degrees inside. All right, everybody, I got it all buttoned up. Quick fix to get them by till we get some parts ordered. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you liked the video, hit that thumbs up button. Please subscribe. Hit that bell icon. That'll notify you anytime I got a new video coming out. I appreciate you watching. Leave me a comment. Hey, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, everybody, we're back. Got a little pile of parts here: blower motor, flame sensor, igniter, some safety switches. It's like a belt and a pulley. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this thing back up. We'll get that blower motor replaced, all the safeties, flame sensor, igniter, clean those burners, and we'll be back in business. I got all four of these loosened up. I'm gonna leave it wired. I'm gonna pop it right up on top of the unit. We're just gonna swap wire for wire, get the new motor mounted in place, and we'll get the pulley all lined up. New belt, check the amp draw, replace all the other components that are written up, and they should be good to go. Everything ran fine since I was here last, so just wanting to avoid any further issues in the future. So let me get that bolt out. We'll get the motor popped up here and go from there. So I got the motor out. I've got it placed up here. When it gets a little cold out, you know, you can warm your hands right up on the motor. These two kind of cold, so we're gonna pop the new motor right up here, right next to it. It's got a little bit of a smell to it as well. So, well, I checked the motor. It's a direct exact replacement. Voltages are right. Everything's good there. So we'll go ahead and get the panel off, get it all wired back up, get it mounted back in place. All right, I got it all unwired now. And just so you guys know, I did double check that our main power was off at the disconnect. So we are off. There's no voltage here. I did write down where our wires went as far as the power supply to the motor. That way we get the phasing right. We're gonna check it obviously, but if I don't have to switch any wires, that's good for me. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out this grommet and we're gonna pop it in right over here and wire it back up, get this thing in place. All right guys, I got my 2 red wires pulled in. Now these are your thermal limit. So if the motor gets too hot, it's gonna open it up and it's gonna open that limit up. So basically your 2 red wires are gonna connect to that have a stake-on connection on them. So go ahead and push those on and then we'll look at the data plate on the motor, see how to wire this thing up. We got our 2 wires pulled in for the thermal limit. Now we're on a low voltage unit, which is 208, 230. So basically T8, T6, and T4, they're all gonna get wire nutted together. T9 and T3 will go to one leg. T6 and T2 will go to the second leg. And T7 and T1 will go to the third leg. So, and this is wired up for high voltage. So I got to pull all these wires apart, follow the diagram on the data plate. It's going to tell you how to wire it up. As long as you're wired up according to that and your phasing is correct, you'll be good to go. If your phasing's off, your motor's going to run backwards. So that's why I wrote down where my power supply, what 2 color wires they were connected to, so it's gonna make my phasing right. I won't have to reverse the rotation by getting back into the electrical compartment or switching it at the contactor when I replace that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing wired up. It's pretty self-explanatory. All your info is right here. I got everything all wired up. I got the grommet back in place. You want to make sure you have something in there. Even if you got to go get a box connector, make sure you have a grommet. Those wires will rub on the housing of the motor, and you'll be back in a month with a burn-up motor and a burn-up wire. So got the motor and pulley all adjusted. I got my wires pinned back up. I'm going to go ahead and check the amp draw on this before I do anything else. That way if I have to make adjustments to that pulley, the old pulley seemed like it was way too wide for me. I don't know why they went out so wide. It's, you know, unscrewing way out, so I didn't set it exactly there. Our amp draw on the motor should be 7.5, so I'm gonna get the panel put back on. I want to run this motor now, check that amp draw, get my pulley set if I need to adjust it now before I get into anything else. Got the blower running. We're running 5.3, 5.76, 5.4. So I'd say we're in good shape. Got the correct limit switch back in place. So we're gonna put the cover back on that. If you remember, that was the main reason the belt came off and destroyed that limit, so I had to temporarily replace it until we came back, which we weren't gone for too long, so no big deal. Got the right one in there now. Now, since I got it down and got a bunch of dirt in here, broken pieces of belt, I'm gonna go ahead and sweep it out. Yeah, that should be better now without all that dust and broken belt and air, so. All right, everybody, got everything all wired up, replaced, and ready to go. So we're gonna make sure this heat kicks on, and we're gonna get out of here. Amp draw's good, everything's good, cleaned out, replaced. I think we're gonna be in good shape. I'll tell you what, guys, I've really been enjoying this new backpack, the Vito Pro Pack backpack. It's been pretty awesome. All my tools are right there, right where I need them. Been real happy with it. Yeah, this thing's been pretty nice. I've been real happy with it so far. Get all my stuff put back in it. But yeah, if you're interested in looking at the video I made about this bag, I'm gonna put a link to it so you can check that out right here. If not, hey, that's all right too. But yeah, this thing's been pretty sweet. I've been enjoying it. Vito Pro Pack makes a nice bag. All right, guys, got all my stuff back down in the van. As you can see, tomorrow's job is another York heat exchanger. I feel like all I've been doing is preventative maintenances and heat exchanger replacements, carriers and Yorks. Just condemned an older Lennox heat exchanger. It's one I haven't done yet as far as making a video for, so hopefully I'll get that job to replace and I can show you that style of Lennox rooftop unit that needs a new heat exchanger. But this is tomorrow's job. I may try to make a video out of it. I've been kind of not very motivated to make videos lately. For one, I've been doing all the same work day in and day out, and it's kind of repetitive and boring. And two, I got sick at the beginning of the year with COVID and had to take a week off work, and my energy level just still isn't up to where it was before, and I'm not feeling very motivated. So I apologize for not having more videos out lately, but I'm gonna get back on it, and there'll be plenty of videos coming this year. So anyway, all right, guys, that's gonna do it for this one. I appreciate you watching the video. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. If you have hit subscribe, hit that bell icon. That'll notify you anytime I got a new video coming out. Leave me a comment, hit like. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one.